This is Eric with diffuserdoc.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at this URPOWER 500 milliliter diffuser that's pretty common on Amazon. We're going to replace the ultrasonic disc in this unit. We have our discs and the screwdriver that comes with it here, and we're going to start by taking off the lid and flipping the unit over and locating these 3 screws on the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and remove those screws. Okay, so I've loosened these 3 screws and I'm going ahead and tip them out and set them aside, and we will open the cover and see what we have here. So you can take these 2 wires off. One goes to the fan, one goes to the power. They're set up differently. One's a 3-pin, one's a 2-pin, so you can't get these mixed up when you plug them back in. Just pull gently on the cable and these should come right out. We'll set this aside. The next thing we want to do is remove these 3 screws. We can go ahead and leave this cable attached. It's not really in the way. And I'll take these out. Okay, I've taken these 3 screws out and I've set them aside over here, and I'm going to go ahead and lift this off gently, and we'll see that the disc is under here. We're going to go ahead and take these 3 screws out. First thing I want to do is unplug the disc by wiggling and pulling this off, and we can move the circuit board assembly out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove these 3 screws here to pull the disc out. Okay, so I removed these 3 screws from the holder that holds the disc down. I'm going to remove this cover, and I'm going to take this disc out and set it aside, and then we'll go ahead and install the new disc. Now, the reason you would want to replace the disc in here is that you might be experiencing a low output of mist, or the lights just flash and the unit shuts off. That's an indicator that the disc has failed and that you need to replace it. Now, when I install this disc back into the unit, you want to make sure you notice that there's a notch here in this cover. It may help to put the disc into the cover first and line that up with the notch. You just have to squeeze some of the silicone. There we go. So now we can be sure that this is lined up with this notch and we won't be pinching any wires here. And then place that back into the unit and check to make sure that everything's seated well. So we don't want any leaks here. Now we'll go ahead and put these 3 screws back in, and then we'll plug the disc into the circuit board right here. This is also keyed so that you can't put this in backwards. And here, click. Now we want to reinstall the circuit board. Notice the orientation of the wiring here. This cable kind of attaches on a 45-degree angle here. And then we're going to put these 3 screws back in here. Okay, now we're ready to attach the base to this again. So we're going to attach these wires. We're going to reattach them. So we're going to plug in our power, which is the 3-pin connector, and here a little click, and the fan. It's a little connector here, here a little click, and then we're going to line these up here with the buttons and make sure that the screws are all lined up. If we do that right, everything should fit flush. There we go. Take a look around, make sure everything is flush. There are no gaps. And then we're going to go ahead and put these 3 screws in. And that's it. We've replaced the disc in a URPOWER diffuser. You can go ahead and give it a test. go. We can give it a test. This thing holds a lot of water. The lid on. And that's how we change the disc in a 500 milliliter URPOWER diffuser. There are some other diffusers that look just like this on Amazon. They'll use the same method and the same part. If you have any questions, contact us at support@diffuserdoc.com. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And the parts can be purchased at diffuserdoc.com as well as for many other brands. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you in the next video.